We're gonna get this started here. What is that actually? Oh, it's my shoulder press. It looks so weird. It looks like I have it looks like I'm like Frankenstein or something. Um, yeah, just gonna have to leave it. I don't know why that's. I just noticed that. All right, whatever. Anyway, so this is boom number two. All right, quick mesos, BMAS, making the attempts. All right. So today I'm gonna go with Hawaii. Gonna try to learn some stuff. And my main goal here is to not use YouTube and to not use Wikipedia. So I just feel like I get better information that way. I think I really do feel like on Wikipedia sometimes they make information just like they purposely make information like hard to understand. I genuinely do think that, and they do it on YouTube sometimes too. Anyway, um, yeah, we're gonna get into this Hawaiian history here. So, fun fact, actually, I have been to Hawaii. Uh, can't remember what year it was. I definitely did go with my mom and my sister. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so early history. First inhabitants of Hawaii may have reached the islands as early as 300 CE from the Marquesas Islands. Okay, I don't know where those are. Marquesas Islands. Okay, French Polynesian. Okay, Southern Pacific. Okay, cool. So, contact with and settlement by Tahitians began in the 19th century CE. Powerful classes of chiefs and priests arrived and established themselves, but became embroiled in conflicts that were similar to the feudal struggles in Europe, with complicated land rights at the center of the disputes. The early Hawaiians lacked a written language. Their culture was entirely oral and rich in myth, legend, and practical knowledge. Especially, yeah, they were chilling. They were vibing out. The material life of the islands was hampered by the lack of metal, pottery, or beasts of burden. What the heck is a beast of burden? It says metal, pottery, or beasts of burden. What the heck does this even mean? Beast of burden? You could have just said like cattle. Why are you saying what is that word? Beast of burden. Okay. But there were no great skill in the use of wood, shell, stone, and bone. And the huge double and outrigger canoes were technical marvels. Navigational methods were well developed, and there was an elaborate calendar. Athletic contests were encouraged. They're vibing, dude. That sounds so cool. Captain James Cook, the British explorer, was generally credited having the first contact. Landed in Wame, Kauai, on January 20th, 1778. That was not too long ago. Upon his return the following year, he was killed during an affray. What is an affray? Instance of fighting. He was trying to start some shit. The initial appearance of Cook was followed by a period of intermittent contact with the West. During this period, King Kamehameha, okay, used military technology, used European military technology and weapons to emerge as the outstanding Hawaiian leader. and seize and consolidating control over most of the island group. This happens often in history, I've seen. For 85 years, monarchs ruled over Hawaiian Kingdom. In the early 19th century, the American whaling fleet began wintering in Hawaii, and the islands were visited with mounted frequency by explorers, traders, and adventurers. Captain George Vancouver introduced livestock to the island in 1792. In 1820, the first of 15 companies of New England missionaries arrived. By the middle of this, they were just vibing, man. Y'all just came over there and were like, hey, start doing this. Okay. I already know how this is going to end. By the middle of the century, there were frame horses, horse drawn vehicles, schools, churches, taverns, mercantile establishments. A written language had been introduced. Okay. Yeah, I just read this. And European and American skills and religious beliefs. Protestant and Roman Catholic had been imported. Hawaiian culture was irrevocably changed. I guarantee you they're having so much fun until all this. Here we go. Establishment of U.S. dominance. Okay, so all the fun stuff is over. After the arrival of missionaries, a small but powerful white minority began to exert greater and greater power over the Hawaiian monarchy. This minority urged upon King Kamehameha III a written constitution in 1840. More importantly, the Great Mahele, or Division of Lands, in 1848, which guaranteed private ownership of property. Kamehameha III sustained insults to his sovereignty from both the French and the British. U.S. interests grew paramount. However, in the succeeding years culminated from the signing of Reciprocity Treaty 1875, essentially a free trade agreement between Hawaii and the U.S., in which the former guaranteed a duty-free market for Hawaiian sugar and the latter gave U.S. special economic privileges that were denied to other countries. No, they did the same thing to Japan. The U.S. did this to everybody. Hey, come trade with us, right? Hawaii did not have a choice. I guarantee you, Hawaii did not have a choice. They didn't need a market for the sugar. They didn't need. They probably didn't even have an economy. They did the same thing to Japan. The treaty was renewed in 1887. The United States received exclusive rights to enter and establish a naval base at Pearl Harbor. Okay, so I was today years old when I learned Pearl Harbor is in Hawaii. Did not know that. I didn't know that. Honolulu. Wow. Didn't know that. All right. King Kala Kala Cow. No. Kalakaua. King Kalakaua, who would be the last king of Hawaii, had lobbied for reciprocity for the reciprocity treaty. Okay, what is reciprocity? I'm not even gonna act like I know that. What is reciprocity? Things for mutual benefit. Okay, so this was basically the U.S.'s idea. Hey, you're gonna trade with us, or we're gonna start bombing you, and we're gonna make it seem like we didn't force this on you. So that's basically what that was. Okay. He lost the support of the planter class because of his attempts to revive Hawaiian culture and because of his profligate spending. In 1887, a company of white troops, the Honolulu Rifles, helped force upon him the Bayonet Constitution, which severely limited his power and which allowed suffrage for the wealthy residents who were generally American and European. Okay, so South Africa, right? I'm getting a South Africa vibe from that. Um, when his successor, Queen Lilio, oh my gosh, these names, Lilio Kalani, okay, seemed as if she would abrogate this constitution. I don't know what abrogate means. To abolish, okay. So she was gonna get rid of the constitution, um, and they took power from her in 1893 with the help of the Marines, which were at the harbor. Okay, so yes, this was all okay. So they put the harbor there. They're like, we're gonna have this treaty, but we're gonna put our base here. And the Hawaiians were like, why are you putting this base here? Don't worry about it. We're just gonna have this base here. All right. Oh, you're not gonna do anything about it. You're not gonna use it on us, right? Right. We're not gonna use it on you. And then as soon as they did something that they didn't like, that's how that worked. Okay. So, um, Grover Cleveland refused to annex the territory, however, noting that the overthrow of the monarchy was an act of war accomplished against popular while using U.S. armed forces. A short-lived republic ensued until the administration of President William McKinley annexed the islands as U.S. territory. What does annex mean? I should know that, but uh, append or add as an extra subordinate part. So that was basically the plan from the beginning, and it took them, how long did it take them? About 50 years. Okay. Um, gosh. Okay, that's weird because the president didn't want to annex, and then the next president just annexed them. Okay, that's weird. As a U.S. territory, Hawaii until 1940 was distinguished by a rapid growth in population, the development of a plantation economy based on the production of sugar and pineapples for consumption on the U.S. mainland, and the growth and transport of military links. Movement of statehood based in part on Hawaii's obligation to pay U.S. taxes without having corresponding legislation representation began to emerge. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor brought only not only Hawaii but the U.S. as a whole into World War III. Wow! So if they had never took Hawaii, we would have never gone to. Wow, that's crazy. If they had never, so wow, that is actually insane. That's so crazy. If we had never annexed Hawaii, we would have never been involved in World War II. The islands were beset by an upsurge of military activity and sometimes controversial curtailment of civil liberties. The post 1945 period was marked by further economic consolidation and a long constitutional path to statehood, a status finally achieved in 1959. Since statehood, both the population and the economy boomed in Hawaii, with ever increasing numbers of visitors. Outside investment, notably from the United States, mainland, and Japan, along with rising real estate values, made the island seem especially bountiful. However, wages have not kept up with the cost of living, and many Hawaiians work multiple jobs to survive. I hate that. That really made me mad reading that. Can I get these ads out of here? Oh well. Um. Also, much of the land that had been occupied by native Hawaiians was cleared for new developments and state parks. Beginning in the 1980s, a sovereignty movement emerged on the islands in which native Hawaiians demanded legal restoration of sovereignty and reparations for the U.S. takeover of their kingdom. It's about time. It took y'all 100 years. Okay. Some groups have pressed for Hawaii to become its own nation, while others have advocated for federal recognition of Native Hawaiians equivalent to that of Native Americans. In 1993, Bill Clinton apologized for America's role in the overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy. Good old Bill. After decades of growth, that was when I was born. After decades of growth, the islands underwent a protracted recession in the early. I'm so old. Dang. Uh, Protracted recession in the early 1990s. By the end of the decade, however, the economy had recovered and much development took place on Maui and Kona side of Hawaii Island. Tourism remained the dominant industry in the early 21st century. Visitors are lured not only by the warm climate and exotic beauty islands, but a growing number of world-class resorts built on such a grand scale that they are destinations in themselves. Moreover, Mauna Kea observation has helped Hawaii become a major world center for astronomy. Oh, because you can see the stars. Ooh. Now I want to look into this. Um, I'll probably do this on another time. Yeah, no, I'll do this another time. Despite the draw of Hawaii for tourists, foreigners, and researchers, no. Despite the draw of Hawaii for tourists, foreigners, and researchers, Native Hawaiians continue to demand land rights, more autonomy for their internal affairs, and the right to self governance. The establishment of the Native Hawaiian governing entity continues to be debated between Native Hawaiians and those who oppose. And man, now I feel bad for them. Okay, so here's what happened. This is so crazy because they were so trying to keep the peace the whole time, and they just got overthrown. And then what's even worse than them getting overthrown is the fact that they got bombed from people who were trying to attack us. Or I guess it was just Pearl Harbor, but that's still Hawaii. So that's just so crazy. And I know there was some like old Hawaiian grandma who was just like, I told you we shouldn't have never gotten involved. Ah, man. All right. So let's see. Trying to see what else I can learn here. Is this the Hawaiian flag? Wow, that should not be the Hawaiian flag. Why is there a British flag on it? Doesn't make sense. Hawaii was characterized by Mark Twain as the loveliest fleet of islands that lies anchored in any ocean. The name is thought to derive from Hawaii Key, the former name of Raiatea, the ancestral home of Polynesians. Huh, where is this? That's definitely like that. No, that's not where the name came from. Largest island. I don't know how to say that. I'm guessing French. Yep, Fresh Polynesian. Um, Central South Pacific Ocean, second largest island in the French Polynesian. Hold on a second. I need a map. French Polynesian. Should that? I was trying to make sure, like, okay, that's not porno. I just wanted to make sure because um, I haven't watched any porn on here in so long. Um, okay, okay. So it's Overseas Collective of France. Wait, nope, I can't use Wikipedia. Um, I just want to see where this is on the map. Or let's do this. Let's do French Polynesia, and then let's do. Is that the flag? Directions to here from Honolulu. So evidently what they're saying is that people canoed. French Polynesia. They're saying that people canoed from here. Yeah, no shot. That's the French Polynesia? Why is that so close? Why is that French? That's really close to the United States. Now I might have to do a video on that next to figure out how France got its hands on that. Oh, all of this is considered French Polynesia? What? Wow, Hawaii is really smack dab in the middle of Japan and the US. I was wondering, like, when I was there, like, I noticed, like, they look Japanese there. They look Japanese there. Like, they look specifically Japanese. Like, they don't just look like regular Asian. They actually look Japanese. And then I was also interested because Kawaii means cute in Japanese. So I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, so that's what that means. And that's literally like a one letter difference. So that's really interesting. Hmm. I feel bad for Hawaiians because they were in between they're in between Japan and the US. Like, I guess it could have been worse. Okay, so yeah, French Polynesia is really interesting. I want to actually read into that really quick, and I'm going to end this on that. I think we're just going to do a little bit of French. I know nothing about French Polynesia. I know nothing. Okay, French Polynesia, overseas collection collectivity of France, consisting of five archipelagos. What is an archipelago? Island chain. Okay. Okay. So five chains of islands, including included are some 130 islands scattered across the Pacific between latitudes 7 and 27 south and longitudes 134 and 155 west, a total land area roughly equivalent to that of metropolitan Paris and London combined. Wow, that's not that much. Those are some small islands, but spread across a swath of ocean five times as large as France. Interesting. That is so interesting. Archipelagos of French Polynesia are the Society Islands, Tuamotu Archipelago, Gambier Islands, Marquesas Islands, Tubuai, Tubay Islands. The capital's Papeete is on Tahiti. Okay, I've heard of Tahiti. Okay. Islands are all protrusions of parallel submarine ridges trending from the northwest to the southeast. The Society Islands are the most westerly and extensive group, accounting for two-fifths of the land area and nearly nine-tenths of the population. They consist of two groups, the Esduvent. I can't do French. Next, we're gonna study French at some point because I can't do French. In the east, as Soulevant, uh, Leeward Islands in the west, except for a few small coral atolls. Society Islands resulted from the emergence of underwater volcanoes. That is so cool. Uh, the volcano cones are highly eroded and cut up into high crests and deep radiating valleys. Often lusciously vegetated mountains drop abruptly to narrow coastal strips or directly into lagoons or the sea. The islands are protected from the force of the sea by almost completely encircling barrier reefs. So awesome. That is so awesome. I'm wondering how the French even got over there. They must have been on some serious exploration. That is so, look how green that is. That doesn't even look real. That looks like an AI generated picture. Um, Tahiti, formed of two ancient volcano cones, is particularly striking because its dramatic silhouette, which rises 7,352 feet above sea level. The mountains are empty of human settlement, habitation and planting being entirely limited to the coastal strip and valley outlets of the island of Moria. Hmm, that sounds really familiar. Separating from Tahiti by a channel of 8.5 miles. It's also a high island is encircled with brilliant white coral sand beaches. Is well connected to Tahiti by boat and text plane, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Tahiti's like the main, that's probably like the best, like, land. Let's see. Okay, they're just basically talking about geography. Oh, Bora Bora is over there as well? Wow. So they just have no history. They didn't have any